Hello, my name's Judy Dewy and I want to introduce you to this wonderful model of Wallingford Castle as it was in about 1330, and it's in Wallingford Museum. But I want to orientate you to what you're looking at, because today this castle doesn't exist like this. It's just an area of green mounds largely, with a few buildings that you can still see, few ruins of buildings to see. So if you come into Wallingford, most people approach the town, or many people do, across the bridge over the river and through what would have been the medieval gateway. It's not there now, but that was where it would have been. And had you come in the Middle Ages, you'd have turned right and gone into the main gates of the castle. Today, you come up the High Street, which is this street here with the houses on either side, until you come to the traffic lights. And then you turn right along Castle Street, properly named, until you come to a little entranceway into what are called Castle Gardens. Now, to get to Castle Gardens, you go along a little path which will take you past a churchyard. This is where the churchyard is today, and this is the church that no longer exists, that was called All Hallows Church. You go in to the Castle Gardens through a little gateway just about here. And when you go through, you won't see two moats like this and a great wall. What you will see is a beautiful garden area with a beautiful grass and flower beds. So coming into Castle Gardens today, you're walking across the base of what would have been this great wall in the Middle Ages. And in front of you, you'll see the moat. You can see it's got no water in it today. This one's completely disappeared. But this moat, you can still see the line of it. And above it, there's this great mound that leads up to where the wall would have run along the top. And today there's a few little bits of ruin here, but nothing very much, but a bit of stonework. And you go up some steps next to it and come into what was then once the middle bailey of the castle, the next level up. You can look back and see where this wall would have been. And in the middle bailey, you'll see there are actually some ruins, because this building here still partly exists. There's a line of wall along here, and there's a line of wall along here. And once there would have been a cloister in the middle that shows when you look at the model closely. This is where the priests of the castle lived. They were known as canons, and they looked after the services within the castle to look after the church of the castle, which was right over here in the distance, in the inner bailey of the castle, the inner part of the main castle complex. And these ruins of the College of St Nicholas, where the priests live, are one of the main pieces of stonework that still exist today. If you want to pursue going through the castle, you can carry on and past a little gateway. You go across, basically you go across into the area which is now known as Castle Meadows. You follow along here and you can see the line of where this moat was. There's actually a bit of water in here. And you can follow along to where the drawbridge, the great drawbridge of the castle, would once have been. And you can walk across what's now just a green sward, across where the moat used to be, and into this inner bailey of the castle. The main feature still existing. You've got a large mound here, which was the motte of the castle. You can see it from when you're in the middle bailey and look across and see the great slope of the motte. And as you walk in through, it's the dominant feature. But the great tower, sadly, is no longer there. But the main buildings of the castle were within that inner bailey, this area here, with the king's lodgings, the queen's lodgings, and the knight's lodgings. Now, this castle doesn't exist today. The stonework has gone, and that's the fault of Oliver Cromwell and the Civil War in the 17th century. Wallingford held out as one of the last stands for the king in the Civil War. It was the very last one in the centre of England, and sadly, therefore, If you want to know what the castle looked like, you need to visit Wallingford Museum and see this fabulous model.